Good evening. Coming up tonight, student government announced the winner of their presidential race yesterday. We will have the results.
And later, the Gamecocks are playing in the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament. We have the details coming up.
Plus, the Columbia Police Department is expanding a special unit. Find out more.
But first, our meteorologist, Bryce is in the studio here with us now. Bryce, what can we expect to see this weekend?
Well, this week it has been warm in the capital city, and when I say warm, some days it was even hot, but we might just get a break from that this weekend. Stay tuned for a look at your weekend forecast tonight on SGTV Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Tatum Miller.
And I'm Courtney McClain. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Student elections are officially wrapped. President hopefuls Reedy Newton and Verzyl Rupra stood on Green Street with both their campaigns, both hoping to hear their name.
But after 3 weeks of campaigning, endorsements, and hours of tabling,
Body president is now Reedy Newton.
It was Reedy Newton who came out as the student body president-elect.
Maya Porzio will serve as vice president, and Noah Glasgow will serve as Speaker of the Senate. 26 new senators will represent their colleagues in the 114th Student Senate. 7 vacant Senate seats do remain.
And all newly elected and re-elected student government officials will be sworn in Thursday, March 24th.
Russian forces have seized a key Ukrainian port and surrounded another in a bid to cut the country off from the sea earlier this morning.
Although Moscow's attempt to take the Ukrainian capital has been delayed, the Russian military has gained control of Kherson, which is now the first major city to fall since the invasion began.
The Russians are pressing offensively on multiple other fronts. Heavy fighting continued all day today. A large amount of Ukraine's electricity and phone connections are down, making it difficult for medics to communicate with the wounded.
In combination with the now 7 days of fighting and homes and shops experiencing heavy food and water shortages, over 2% of Ukraine's population has now fled the country. In a vote of 422 to 3, the United States House of Representatives passed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, which makes lynching a criminal civil rights violation.
Representative Bobby Rush of Illinois is the sponsor of the bill and has stated that there has been more than 200 attempts to pass federal anti-lynching laws.
The bill now moves to the Senate for a final vote before President Biden can sign the legislation into law. Sponsors of the Clementa C. Pinckney Hate Crimes Act in South Carolina are hopeful about the potential of the Anti-Lynching Act's passing.
They hope it will help pass their own bill, as South Carolina is one of 2 states in the country with no laws against hate crimes. The Columbia Police Department is expanding a special unit staffed with mental health counselors for behavioral-related calls or reports.
Columbia Police Chief Skip Holbrook said, quote, "There are people in our community who need significant mental health intervention and care rather than a bedside inside of a jail cell," end quote.
The new unit, called the Pathway Unit, is made up of both a South Carolina Department of Mental Health counselor and a CPD officer who is certified as a crisis intervention team member.
Once a referral or service is used, the team follows up with a mental health at-home checkup to determine if additional help is needed.
And I think this is really great. I think the city of Columbia is taking a lot of steps to move in the right direction of mental health improvement. I know U of SC is starting to implement some new things as well.
Yes.
Coming up, Colleen Sholtis is back with the latest in Carolina sports. Stay close. Our men's basketball team had a great game Tuesday at home. SGTV News 4 sports anchor Colleen Sholtis is here with the details. Colleen?
Welcome back to another week of Carolina sports. Men's basketball took to the court for their last home game of the season this past Tuesday against Missouri. The Tigers put up a fight, but the Gamecocks pulled out yet another win in Colonial life. As a 7-point favorite going into the game, Carolina stayed consistent throughout the whole game, keeping a lead against Missouri. However, they cut it close in the final minutes in what was senior night at Colonial Life. Jermaine Couisnard and Devin Carter would lead the team in points, both scoring 17 apiece, with Devin Carter gathering his second career double-double. James Reese pulled out 13 points and Keyshawn Bryant and Eric Stevenson with 9. Wilden's Levesque displayed an impressive career-high 4 blocks, but Missouri junior guard Javon Pickett kept the Tigers in the game with 23 points. However, that would not be enough for the Tigers. Finally, with Devin Carter scoring 8 of his points in the last 5 minutes when the game was close, it would seal the win for the Gamecocks. Seniors honored at the end of the game included Jermaine Couisnard, Keyshawn Bryant, Eric Stevenson, James Reese, Brandon Martin, AJ Wilson, and Mark Green. The Gamecocks look to take on the Auburn Tigers for their last regular season game of the year this Saturday, March 5th at 1 p.m. The women's basketball SEC tournament is underway in Nashville, Tennessee, and with no surprise, your South Carolina Gamecocks are the #1 seed. They are set to play tomorrow, March 4th at 1 p.m. facing the Arkansas Razorbacks after their victory over the Missouri Tigers this afternoon, and you can watch this on the SEC Network. With a win tomorrow, Dawn Staley and the team would play Saturday in the semifinals at 5 p.m., and this will be broadcasted on ESPNU. Following this tournament, Selection Sunday is March 13th, with the first rounds of the NCAA tournament that week. The Gamecocks look to take home a national championship after going 15-1 in the SEC and 27-1 overall. That's all I have from Carolina Sports this week. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Colleen, and we'll be right back with the latest entertainment news from in and around Columbia.
And welcome back. Joining me now is entertainment reporter Brianna Rao to fill us in on what's happening in and around Cola this weekend. What do you have for us, Brianna?
This Craftsman Spring Class returns to South Carolina State Fairgrounds starting Friday, March 4th at 10 a.m. through Sunday, March 6th. You can browse unique finds. Journalist Cremery Coleman said, quote, art lovers will find a variety of handmade items and some tasty samples to try while perusing down the aisles. Tickets are $7 for adults and $1 for kids aged 6 through 12. Tickets can be purchased at the door or in advance through the website gilmoreshows.com. I am a huge vintage lover, so I will definitely have to peruse all of these new artists. So will you be interested as well?
Definitely. I think I have to go with you because I love seeing all the vintage things that you just wear and bring in. So take me with you when you go.
Yes, of course. All of the local shops will be there, so definitely something to see. And Miss Columbia USA is competing to be the next Miss South Carolina USA. Columbia resident and current Miss Columbia USA, Madeline Stewart, will compete for the title of Miss South Carolina USA this Saturday. You can vote for Madeline to secure a spot in the top 16 at MissSouthCarolinaUSA.com and watch the live stream on RPM Productions website. Miss South Carolina USA will take place at the North Charleston Performing Arts Center this Saturday, March 5th at 7:30 p.m. I have never seen a fashion show, I've never seen a pageant,
Really?
and I am so intrigued by all the work that goes into this just for a couple of hours. I don't even know, like how does someone prepare for that?
It's definitely a lot of work. As a former pageant person, it's a lot. But you
I
should
take your
definitely
word
go.
for that.
Go.
Yeah. And that's all for your entertainment news for tonight. Coming up after the break, meteorologist Bryce Glenn will give you the weekend forecast. And we'll be right back.
Welcome back to your weekend forecast. I'm meteorologist Bryce Glenn, and we're going to start off with our weather headlines. First off, tomorrow we're going to have a little bit of a dip in temperatures, a little bit different from what we've been experiencing here lately. Today we were in the 80s, the high 80s, but we're going to be getting down into the 60s starting tomorrow. We'll have an increase in clouds through Saturday, and with that we'll have some rain possibly starting at the beginning of the week, but we'll have more 80 temperatures starting on Sunday. Tomorrow in South Carolina, a lot cooler, like I was saying, in the high 60s in the upstate. Not much different here in the Midlands, except we'll peak at 71 in Aiken, down on the coast, a little bit cooler in Myrtle Beach at 61, and then almost at 70, just at 68 in both Hilton Head and Charleston. For your spring break, I know some of you might be traveling. If you're staying in-state, going to Myrtle Beach, be prepared for temperatures in the high 60s, low 70s throughout the weekend, with some partly cloudy skies there. If you're moving down a little bit further south to Panama City Beach, I know I'll be there at 75 degrees and 74 on Sunday. Very sunny with some moderate temperatures throughout the weekend and the start of the week. Even further south down in Florida and Miami, we'll have some clouds, lots of wind at 80 degrees both days. And then Gulf Shores, Alabama will be nice, clear, and warm. Very dry though in the mid-70s. New York City, if you're an unfortunate soul that has to go up north to visit your family or something, it's going to be bitterly cold on Saturday at 47. Then we'll have a little bit of a jump in temperatures on Sunday at 70. with partly cloudy skies throughout. Right now in Columbia, it's 71 degrees, very comfortable with a wind from our west at 5 miles per hour, humidity at 26%. We're clear and comfy at 7:13 p.m. and our sunset was at 6:22. Now, if you have to stay in Columbia for this week, this is what you want to pay attention for. 66 tomorrow, mostly Sunday, Saturday at 79, partly cloudy, increasing clouds throughout the day and evening into Sunday. Some clouds in the sky at 85, same idea Monday 85, but very clear out there. And 73 on Tuesday, some partly rainy skies out there and mostly sunny starting Wednesday at 66, at a little bit cooler. Stay tuned for tonight's edition of Carolina Canines.
And finally tonight's Carolina Canine features Flyby.
This picture was sent in by our own station producer, Riley Hackett.
Flyby is a rescued greyhound who lives in Somerville. He is a retired racing dog and runs in circles when he is excited.
And although he's fast, he prefers laying on the couch over running.
I'm feeling that Flyby. And Riley showed me a little picture on the side cuddling a crocodile stuffed animal.
Oh my gosh,
Cutest
so
thing
cute.
I've ever seen. That's all we have for tonight's edition at Student News of 7.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For SGTV News 4, I'm Tatum Miller.
And I'm Courtney McClain. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night and forever to be.